Hello everyone, I'm Mike and welcome to my channel Natural Born Critic. Today we're going to go over my favorite Xbox 360 games of all time. But before we get into the list, I want to talk a little bit about the 360 and what a great system it was. It's one of my favorite systems, and besides the name and the red ring of death, I don't have too many complaints about it. And actually I prefer this dashboard over the Xbox One dashboard. From the way you scroll through your games and it tells you your achievement progress, to the way you scroll through your achievements. And man, did I fall in love with achievements. I prided myself on getting most or all of the achievements for the games I played. And that's actually why you might see some big time games not on this list, because if the achievements didn't seem interesting, or honestly, if I didn't think I could get them all, I might have passed on that game and moved on to something else. And for you guys that have played the 360 and now play the Xbox One, let me ask you a question. Do you still care about achievements? For me, they kind of lost some of their luster. I don't care as much. I still like getting them, but I'm not as into them or maybe obsessed with them as I was. So let me know down in the comments below what you think of this list and if you agree with me about the achievements or not. All right, guys, that's enough of me rambling. Let's get to it, and I hope you like the video. The 360 had quite a few shoot 'em ups, and my favorite being Raiden IV. The Raiden series is not a bullet hell shooter, which is just fine with me because those games are impossible. It does get difficult and can be chaotic, and this game also had a really cool single player mode where you controlled both ships, one with the left thumbstick, one with the right thumbstick, and you used the triggers and bumpers to shoot each ship. That was very challenging. And also it has the lock-on laser that everyone likes, and which for some reason I think Raiden 3 left out on the PS2, which to me was inexcusable. This is probably the hardest to find game on my list, but the good news is it's not too expensive. My number 10, Raiden IV. Number 9, you're back as Batman. This time you're incarcerated in a huge super prison, and that game is Batman Arkham City. Back to reprise the roles as Batman and the Joker are Kevin Conroy and Mark Hamill. I can't remember if it was the pre-order bonus or the season pass or a combination of the two, but Batman had a lot of different unique outfits he could wear. My favorite being the 1970s Batman. The gameplay clocks in around 40 hours, including a Catwoman campaign, and there's DLC where you play as Robin in Harley Quinn's Revenge. The combat in this game is more fluid than Arkham Asylum. You can string high number combos, and in the combat challenges and Predator challenges, you can fight as Robin, Nightwing, and Catwoman. I don't play many superhero games, but when I do, I play as Batman. My number 9, Batman Arkham City. In the history of video games, I don't think there's been a better deal than Valve's The Orange Box. 5 amazing games, so much gameplay for your money. Half-Life 2, Half-Life 2 Episode 1 and 2, Team Fortress 2, and Portal. If you've never played Half-Life, I don't know what you're waiting for. Go play it. Get the Orange Box if you have played Half-Life but haven't played Half-Life 2. You won't be disappointed. Half-Life 2 is a phenomenal story, and hopefully we'll see Half-Life 2 Episode 3 or Half-Life 3 soon, but I doubt it. Team Fortress 2 is a class-based shooter with a cartoon look. Amazingly, I had no problem finding a game all these years later. Unfortunately, the PC version was the version to get all the support with the DLC maps and achievements. The first time I saw Portal was on G4 Cinematheque late at night, and I thought, what is this game? It looks amazing. I have to try it. And man, these achievements were hard. I did get all of them, but it took me a while. But if you haven't played this, what are you waiting for? My number 8, The Orange Box. Fable II is a beautiful action RPG. I had a blast playing it. The Fable series catches some flack for not delivering on some of the promises that the developers made. I love the character customization. I love that you could be good or evil in this game. You had a dog as your companion, which was really cool. I also loved how you could own property. You could own rental property to receive rental income. You could settle down and get married and have a kid, or not. The achievements weren't too bad in this game, except for the very annoying doll catcher achievement. Good luck getting that one. And there was 3 pub games that actually got their own Xbox Live Arcade release. One was a card game that was pretty cool. One was a combination of roulette and craps. And one was a complete waste of time. It was a stupid slot machine. Slot machines are stupid. But that is my number 7, Fable II. Number 6 is the second game from Valve on our list, and it might not be the last. Left 4 Dead is a 4-player co-op game where you're killing zombies, and they're the fast kind, and they're scary. This game had an AI director, which meant that the hordes would never spawn at the same time. The special infected weren't always spawned in the same place, and added a lot of variety to the gameplay. The sound and voice acting in this game is phenomenal, and as you go across the game's 4 campaigns, you'll come across some graffiti written by other survivors, which really lends some story and personalization to a game that doesn't have much of a story. Left 4 Dead 2 is also available on Xbox 360, but Left 4 Dead 1 came out first, and I like it better. Each campaign does have a finale at the end, which is very chaotic, and you'll need some teamwork to survive. I was playing by myself when I was capturing this footage, and it was on regular difficulty, and I did not make it out. Because, did I mention the zombies are fast? That is my number 6, Left 4 Dead. Coming in at number 5 is Fallout 3. It's such a massive game, there's so much to do. I'm still not done all the DLC for this game. I'm not sure I'll ever be completely done with this game. There's so many side quests after you're done the main mission. There's so many collectibles. I'm not sure I'll ever get all those damn bobbleheads. The combat in this game was really cool. You could choose to fight in real time or fight turn-based with the VAT system. The perks were great. There were so many weapons to choose from. You could build your own weapons at the workbench. The achievements for this game aren't too bad. They're kind of a grind. The achievement tiles, though, are some of the best achievement tiles of any 360 game out there. I never played a Fallout game before, but when I saw the trailer for this game, the music that it had, I went out and I pre-ordered the special edition. It came with the soundtrack. I love the soundtrack. I love the game. I had a blast. And if you have 6 months to a year to devote to this game, definitely check it out. It's not too hard to find. Fallout 3, my number 5. Coming in at number 4 is another game that has tremendous style. I love the time period of this game. I love the Art Deco style of Rapture. But Rapture made this game. I wanted to explore every nook and cranny of this game. I wanted to experience it before it went to hell. I even bought the book, Bioshock, and I'm in the process of reading that. I can't get enough of Bioshock. And Bioshock 2 was one of those games that I talked about earlier where, because I couldn't get all the achievements, I passed on it. And I recently played Bioshock 2 remastered on the Xbox, and what a fool I was for passing up on that game. And all just because I didn't feel like dealing with the multiplayer achievements. This game has a little bit of RPG elements to it. You can upgrade the weapons. It's just creepy. It's awesome. It's paced right. You have the big daddies you got to fight. Man, they're a pain in the ass to bring down. This game has a great story with a great ending and a great twist. I have not played Bioshock Infinite. Build a city under the water. Brilliant. Build a city floating in the sky. Stupid. Portal 2 is the third game from Valve that appears on my top 10 list. Portal 2 has everything you'd want in a sequel. More advanced puzzle solving, more gameplay mechanisms, a cooperative game mode where you and a friend can play online and play as the robots Atlas or Peabody and solve test chambers together. It has a more fleshed out story where you'll learn more about the origins of Aperture Science and its founders. Now, you do have your usual test chambers and they do get more difficult, but it was those behind the scenes levels and puzzles that really took the cake. Pun intended. The voice acting is superb in this game. It's got to be one of the funniest games I've ever played, with Wheatley, GLaDOS, and everyone's favorite car insurance spokesman, Cave Johnson. Some of the added mechanisms in this game was propulsion gel, which was orange, and the blue gel, which I forget what it's called, but I know it makes you bounce. Boing. There's the propulsion gel. And you had this gravity thing, and you had to put it all together in the really further along advanced stages to get through. And they really do get difficult. The achievements for this game are easier than the first Portal. The game is backwards compatible, and at least when it gets too difficult, you can take a break, because I'm pretty sure Atlas and Peabody are still testing to this day. My number 3, Portal 2. If there was one game on this list that I thought I might catch some flack for, it was this one, Mirror's Edge, my number 2. And believe it or not, I went back and forth quite a bit as to whether this was my number 1 game or not. In Mirror's Edge, you play as Faith, who is a runner and transfers information and secrets in a heavily oppressed totalitarian city. And while this is in the first-person perspective, it's not a first-person shooter. It's a first-person action-adventure / platformer. While there is some shooting in the game, I think a lot of people were disappointed that the gunplay was not more front and center. Because you're not worried about ammo count or health bars, there is no heads-up display. This game is more about running and evading and keeping your momentum and speed up to avoid the police and traverse the obstacles. Even 10 years after the game's release, it still looks great. The city looks great with its bold use of primary colors against the white backdrop. And the game's ambient music really fits the whole style and feel of the game. This game is backwards compatible for the Xbox One, and Mirror's Edge Catalyst was a reboot of the series. But I'd love to know what game you prefer. For me, I still prefer the original Mirror's Edge. After you finish the main campaign, there's still plenty to do with the time trials and speedruns. Good luck getting 3 stars on those time trials. Man, this game was so close to being my number 1 game. But listen, guys, I like criticism. I welcome your criticism. I would love to know if you guys agree with me or not on this game being this high on the list. Number 2, Mirror's Edge. If you ever dreamed of being an outlaw or a lawman in the Old West, welcome to Red Dead Redemption, where you'll play as former outlaw John Marston, tasked with bringing his old gang members to justice. And one of the things I did notice early on when I was playing this game is how natural the horseback riding felt. They nailed it, which I think was so important. If they didn't get that right, you spend so much time on a horse, I think it would have really took away from the gameplay. The world that Rockstar created is vast and varied, and there's so much to do in this world, and even more to see. It really feels like you could be right in the middle of a Sergio Leone Western. And speaking of Sergio Leone, on a side note, tell me in the comments what your favorite Sergio Leone movie is, and see if you can guess mine. I'll give you a hint. It's not a Western. But Red Dead Redemption is enthralling from start to finish, and even after the main story mission is complete, you'll have plenty to do and see. So that's it, guys. That's my top 10 Xbox 360 games of all time. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did like it, please hit that like button and subscribe. And I look forward to reading your comments about what you agreed with and didn't agree with. And thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.